fine. That's all
yeah,
right.
but hang on. Isn't that different? Because an apple is a fruit and a banana is a vegetable.
What just happened?
Our intrepid podcasters, we have a refugee from across the pond and Trump hasn't deported him yet. It's Gary.
He's working on it though.
Sir Mix-a-Lot's Baby Got Back was inspired by him. It's Steve.
What's up?
He feels bad for seedless watermelons, because what if they want to have babies? It's Bill.
What?
That's deep.
And he's not Godzilla, but Japanese people run from him anyway. It's Ben.
Oh, yeah.
To be fair, there's not a lot of gingers in Japan, I imagine.
No. You imagine they'd run to me, right? Rather than
You might think he's sort of like demigod.
Manboys. This week, these photos went viral. It was a high school golfer being ran down by a goose.
Michigan's own.
Was that Michigan?
Yes, it was.
That's a Michigan
Wow.
carrying goose.
It looks like an eagle or something.
Oh, geez, that's wow. Can I speculate that that's not just an assault? That goose really, really liked that young boy? He's going full-blown R. Kelly on it.
Oh, man.
Look at that.
He's carrying golf clubs. The question is, if you're in this situation, do you use the golf clubs as a weapon against the beast?
Absolutely not against Canadian geese.
I was thinking about this when I heard it. I think I just reached my hand out and, shake him a few times.
No, hang on. Look at that. Look at that. Anyone who ends up like that because they got attacked by a goose bloody deserves it. Look at it.
Yeah.
The goose became a pile driver.
That's a good point. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'd...
Where's the goose's head?
If a fowl can do that to you.
Where's the goose's head? What has he done?
But I might dump the bag to get away instead of letting it carry me over.
But you guys are more interested in treating the problem than preventing it. Douchebag on the golf course with his brightly coloured golf clothes on deserves to get attacked by a goose.
Oh, that's standard.
No, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Standard.
I think...
What?
Everybody's got that friend. Oh, do you want to go golf on Saturday? Yeah, I'll go golf on Saturday. And they rock up and they got the stupid little hat on and the funny pants and the stupid shoes.
He's not looking. Come on.
Look
He's
at
got
him.
a blue sweater. He's got a blue sweater and some khakis. I mean, it's not like he's...
I think the real hero in the situation is the photographer that's able to stop laughing long enough to actually take these
Multiple
amazing action
photos.
photos. Yeah.
Is the photographer under any kind of responsibility to help him instead of just standing there taking pictures?
Absolutely not.
In a documentary situation, you can't get involved. That's the rule.
You don't mess with nature.
It's on safety. This isn't like a Seinfeld situation. I mean, it was...
I
There's not much
imagine
time.
if that was something other than a goose, like some kind of hyena
Like a
or...
duck.
I just hope this kid's girlfriend didn't see it because
That's what I was
she
wondering.
would definitely not do that.
They said,
Oh, yeah.
they said Michigan high school student, and I'm sure everybody at that high school knows who he is.
He's the goose man.
I just
Yeah,
hope
exactly.
nobody got that to go national, like the actual individual.
But give him credit for one thing. Cycle back through the pictures. He keeps his face obscured from every single one. He knew how humiliating this was going to be when he saw that goose coming in.
That one, so you can see it a little bit. It's flat, upside down.
Manboys. All right, food scientists say that 90% of the nutrients of a fruit are in the peel.
I've heard that.
So I want you guys to watch this video. And for nutrition's sake, is it worth eating a banana whole?
No. Not at all.
Ugh.
Oh.
I mean, as if this show wasn't already gay enough to begin with. We're now watching a dude eat a banana. But
No. So,
I got two objections to that. One. Oh wait, are we?
that's crazy.
It's hard to watch for so many reasons.
No, look.
He's been on the joke. I mean, he understands.
Yeah, and why? Enough of the extreme close-up. Whoever made this, I hate.
Is he throwing up?
Eat.
No. People have survived for many, many years not eating all peels and such and lived long lives. I don't think it's worth any sort of added nutritional value.
Is the scientist saying that monkeys have been doing it wrong for thousands of years?
I didn't eat the top. That thing's so hard.
Certain apples the peel on the apple isn't. That's all right. That's all
Yeah,
right.
but hang on. Isn't that different? Because an apple is a fruit and a banana is a vegetable.
What just happened?
No, hang on.
Whoa.
What?
I thought the whole segment was about fruits having nutritional value.
Stop. No, hang on. No, we can't be serious.
We gotta step back. Serious?
Apples have got pips in it, right? Which makes it a fruit. Banana hasn't got seeds in it, so it's technically a vegetable.
No, but you cut a banana, you see the little.
That's not the way that
You
works.
see the seeds in there, right?
I've never seen a seed in a banana.
No, they're just not the same kind of seeds.
You honestly think that a banana is a vegetable?
Well, it's like a tomato is a fruit, right?
I guess.
Tomato's debatable, but yeah, it's a fruit.
Gary, you've never been more foreign than at this moment.
I just thought maybe there's a.
So what's your definition of a vegetable?
It doesn't have a seed in it.
What does it do?
Like cucumbers are
What?
seeds.
Yeah,
It's a vegetable.
it's a fruit.
No.
I'm pretty sure the definition is if it's got a seed, it's a fruit. Side number one, monkeys don't do that. Monkeys are like professors of bananas, right? The other thing though, you can get high from a banana skin. So, yeah, you can as a substitute.
Oh my
you can dry and smoke a banana skin and get high from it. So there's no way that like the banana was designed for us all to eat it and get stoned.
So
what did it say? What did it say? What did it say?
It's a cucumber, a definition of a cucumber, a long green-skinned fruit with watery flesh, usually eaten raw in salad or pickled.
You guys,
True.
you guys are welcome.
The internet says it.
So is a zucchini a fruit?
Does it have seeds?
I think.
It's a fruit.
This is just blowing my mind
No
apart.
This is.
But bananas do have seeds.
I call it a squash.
They're just not the same.
So
Like if
squash.
you've ever like cut the banana in like
Little tiny black seeds.
yeah.
I thought that was a bit black bits of banana.
No, there's seeds there.
Wait, so that means pickles are a fruit.
Well, pickles are cucumbers
Bananas
that fit in
are
vinegar, right?
Yeah. Not like anybody ever.
We
got
weren't
that for a
questioning
second.
banana
No
fruit connection.
I never watched.
I will say it made up for your banana comment. Your revelation about the cucumber. Yeah, that peel never meant to be eaten. No, it's like I don't care how much nutritional value is in that peel.
Boy, man boy.
All right, Superman 1 and 2 are considered two of the greatest movies of all time. But each of these films have something questionable occur at the end of it for the conclusion. In Superman 1, he flies around the world against its rotation so quickly it spins the world backwards and rewinds time so that Lois Lane's car comes out of the pit. In Superman 2, he has a leftover S from his costume, and he throws the S at this General Zod commander, and it wraps him up.
He shrink wraps.
Yes. So my question is, which one of these is more absurd? Are we okay with this? And is there any reasonable explanation for these occurrences?
Hang on. So is there any scientific merit in making the world spin the other way and reverse
No, I
time?
think if it spin
No.
the other way, the
That would
crash
just-
would get really, really bad. It would get worse.
No, if you spin the other way, it would destroy life on Earth because the reason why we're not flying off the face of this Earth right now is because of constant acceleration or constant velocity. So because the world is spinning at a constant rate, we don't feel it.
So to make it go that way, you'd have to slow down and stop it and move it.
Yeah, you gotta stop it, move it, and we would feel that. We would go flying
But-
off the
Yes.
Earth. It's like,
Like
in your
Superman.
car.
We go fly.
When you're in a car
Yes.
and you're driving down the highway at 70 miles an hour, you don't feel it. But if you hit the brakes, you feel that.
Yeah.
And
That's
him,
true.
him stopping and reversing the rotation of the Earth, that's hitting the brakes. Everything on the Earth, boom. Flying.
So that's just nonsense.
Maybe it's like some kind of
Like
Phantom
Batman.
Zone thing,
Batman
right?
has his gadgets.
I
you know,
And I think you're missing the point.
grappling
The S
gun.
is actually Superman's adult diaper. He's just pulled out of the back of his pants and thrown it.
I think
Technology
it's
thing.
more logical, but however, the spinning the world backwards, whoever had that idea in the first place, I think is very clever. Much more clever than throwing shrink wrap.
I mean, obviously, they didn't write it with
That's
Ben in
a good
mind, but
So obviously, I prefer the first one, but the second one's more logical.
Superman's adult diaper, and you're going to need some powerful material to withstand like what's going to come out of that man's pants. So,
You gotta have a super diaper for sure.
and let's face it, Christopher Reeve probably had a lot of adult diapers around.
Oh man.
I mean, okay, that happened after this movie, but I don't know.
Oh man.
Move on.
Yeah, let's move on.
Man, boys.
I have the first challenge of the night. I call this challenge the 3 Gs. How do you pronounce this, Gary?
Gal Gadot.
Everyone gets a turn.
Yeah, I'll be that for sure.
I'll go with Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot.
Is it T silent?
Silent T.
Ooh.
Yeah, Ben's right.
Now, did she say that herself?
Oh yeah.
I respect.
That was the easy one.
Does that mean something?
I got this one.
All right, I'm gonna say it's a GIF.
It's a GIF.
So I say GIF, but the creator of the GIF is upset that people call it a GIF because he originally intended to be GIF. So it's still up for debate. There is no solid answer for this one.
If he intended it to be GIF, he should have come up with a J word.
Well, it stands for graphic interface something.
Good.
Exactly.
Good.
Hang on.
That's a G.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to pronounce acronyms anyway, right?
I
So-
guess the only
Yeah.
way he could have done GIF. What's your call?
I've always called it a GIF,
Okay.
but you don't pronounce acronyms anyway, so there is no correct way to say it.
That's fair. But the only other way I can think is, like the Giants, San Francisco Giants, is a J sound of a G.
Yeah.
So
There are
if
some
he's
sounds.
trying to claim that way, he can say GIF. I had never
But
thought
this
of
is
that.
a sentence, right? This is a sentence.
I agree.
Yeah,
But I mean,
So we should be all calling it a GIF everywhere we go.
but look at it.
I think it's okay to use it as a word, but I don't think we should try and apply any
Like, I mean, if you put these-
principles to it.
If you put two words side by side, GIF and JIF, everyone would say GIF and GIF.
Well, and you're right.
I
What
agree with
I
that,
just said
yeah,
about
I
the
agree.
Giants makes no sense because it's for graphics, which is a good sound.
Yeah.
So never mind. I take it back. It's GIF.
That was also the easy one. How do you say this?
Gyro.
Gyro.
Type of
I'm always wondering.
Greek
It's like
sausage, isn't it?
It's a Euro.
Gyro.
I call it a gyro because, I mean, you also have the word gyroscopic. I mean, so at least in English, I say it's a gyro.
Is this applying
But
to the
that
same-
doesn't necessarily mean that's how they pronounce it in like Greece or
That's like
where it originates from.
Isn't that some sort of like engineering thing that makes us spin around or something?
Yeah, gyroscopics.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
like
But this is in reference to the sandwich.
It's how Superman reversed time with the world.
My
Euro?
understanding is that
Euro?
the sandwich is a euro.
Euro.
But it's a Greek word, so who gives a crap?
Yeah, think of it this
Give
way.
a crap.
Didn't they found like the
Oh, look where it got them. They're bankrupt. Screw them. Their words don't mean anything now.
I mean, no, look at it. Just because
The days of Spartans are over. 300. Done.
just because a word is pronounced
Euro?
one way in its original country doesn't mean that we pronounce it the same way.
We got a
Right?
cheater here. Play.
This is Google Translate.
Euro.
Yeah, but I mean, all right. So we don't go around saying it's like burrito.
Yeah,
Dude, that's wrong because we still say burrito, and even though we might do different accents, this is a fully different U sound versus a
Okay,
J sound.
okay. Enchilada.
Quesadilla.
Quesadilla.
What's wrong with that?
But we say
We do
quesadilla
say quesadilla.
because that's the way they say it in Mexico.
I go back to the principle of
Dirty.
that there's a certain like hierarchy to words and languages, right? If you want everyone speaking English, you have to like put some work in, like we did when we enslaved like the whole planet. The Greeks have done nothing to warrant telling us how to pronounce that word. End of case closed.
What do you mean they've done nothing?
Well, I mean, like, there's a reason you lot are all speaking our language, right?
Yeah.
Because we came over, killed all the Indians, and gave you this bit of land, right?
A lot of
Well,
our
the Greeks done
Gave it
nothing.
to us. Hold up.
Look,
Well,
the
French
principle,
did it,
the principle still stands, right? If you want to be dictating to the world how you pronounce a certain sandwich, you've got to conquer that world. You've got to force your will. The Greeks haven't done anything for like 4,000 years. That's it.
Case closed. That's right. We get to tell them how to pronounce it.
Yeah, exactly.
Man boys.
Okay, here's the real challenge of the night. Or what are the four pro sports in America?
Football, basketball, baseball, tennis. Wait, no, seriously, what? Ice hockey.
There you go. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, across all four pro sports, there are only 9 team names that do not end with the letter S. Name those 9 teams, and you're being timed.
All 4 pro sports.
Yes.
9.
Tampa Bay Lightning.
There are 9.
Tampa Bay Lightning.
That's 1.
Red Sox.
That's 2.
White Sox.
That's 3.
Oh, snap.
I'll give you guys a hint. There are no NFL teams that don't end in S.
Really? Not one?
Not a single one.
Oh boy.
Heat.
Oh! Miami Heat.
We're not done.
Focus.
Oh, we got 4 though.
That's 4 out of 9.
Oh, there's 9.
Yeah.
You gotta help me on hockey. I don't know hockey that
There's
well.
9. This is gonna take all night.
Utah Jazz.
Boom.
He contributed. He's going to contribute more than me. He's the foreign guy.
Thunder. Oklahoma City Thunder.
That's 6.
Avalanche.
Nice.
All right.
That's 7. 1 hockey, 1 NBA. Okay, the hockey team is from Minnesota.
Oh, the Minnesota Wild. Dang it.
Where do you got that? I don't know. That's a weird team.
But we can. Man, what's the hit on basketball? I feel like I'm close.
It's the other Florida team.
I said the Heat, so it's the
Tampa Bay.
the other. Isn't that funny right now? I'm blanking. Oh, Orlando Magic.
Oh.
Dang it, man. Dang it! I kept going Heat. Okay, I'm good at Florida. That shows how relevant they've been in recent years.
That's a great trivia question.
Boy, man boy.
All right. This segment is called Impish or Admirable.
Give me the definition on impish.
Is this where we're going to talk about Vern Troy?
Watch this video and tell me if this guy's prank is impish or admirable. He filled up his mouth with milk and then fed it to that woman.
I like it.
I like it. Yeah. Admirable.
That's great.
I'm a little bit disappointed it was milk though. I thought it was going somewhere else with
I
the
think.
prank.
I mean, obviously they're friends and stuff, so I think.
I reckon she's his sister. I'm like, that isn't a level to it, isn't it?
I think that's very impressive. I have to admit.
That's a good prank, but I do
Can
not
we
think
watch-
we're right now.
I think in general, their family, their whatever they're, it's pretty harmless.
Can we watch that one more time?
So I say admirable.
Who like says, yeah, gang, I'll sip on your milk a little bit.
You
Like,
drink out of the cup.
Yeah, if they're willing to drink out of the same cup, they have some familiarity with each other. So
Well, what I'm saying is, like, this is a weird scenario. Like, have you ever just drink milk with a straw in the middle of the day for no reason? Or...
Well, you called him fake news.
Yeah. It's just a weird thing. I don't know.
You don't see enough Asian pranks on the internet, right? And for a super intelligent race of people, I would.
I've seen a few.
You know what I mean, though. Like whenever you, if he was like some American teenager with long blonde hair, so this is gonna be lame. You see an Asian guy, like this is gonna be gold. This is gonna be clever.
Man boys.
All right, it's time for the great debate. We will start with 3 reasons from Steve why Marvel movies suck, followed by Ben explaining why Marvel is killing it.
So number 1 is that, like, the premises are pretty ridiculous in the first place. Like, so if there's a Hulk and he's indestructible, why not have him just do everything in the first place? Like why have, what's his face shooting arrows and the Scarlett Johansson shooting guns at giant space aliens when the Hulk can just grab up and smash them? That brings me to point number 2, which is, like, why have stupid superheroes with barely any superpowers at all? Have you ever sat down to watch a Marvel movie and thought, oh, I wonder how this is going to turn out? No, you know exactly how it's going to turn out. There's no surprises. There's nothing, interesting. And I think the thing that bugs me about it the most is that they're giving everyone, the whole world is giving them a pass. These movies are not that good. They're making billions of dollars all over the world, and they're just because, it's a comic book movie, yeah, you gotta love it. But they're really not that good. That's my personal opinion.
Go. All right, so I'm gonna give my three points and then the rebuttals later. All right. So my number 1 is nostalgia. I mean, grew up comic books, seeing these stories that we grew up loving coming to life. That carries a weight of its own, and that just, the fact that they're done well. I mean, look at DC. There's a reason why no one likes those DC movies, even though the DC comics are arguably better than the Marvel comics, right? So obviously they're doing something right because not only do they have the nostalgia, but it's working. My second one is look at that cast. I mean, the cast they've got, the actors they chose for those roles, perfect. I mean, maybe there's like, you might be able to point out like 1 or 2 that are like, yeah, man, but like overall, they've got Good choices. And my third is that they do the hero archetype stories. They do the stories well. It's like, yeah, it's predictable, but just because the story is predictable doesn't mean it's not good, right? There are archetypes. Like the reason why a story lasts for thousands of years is because they carry within them deeper meanings underneath the level of the story. The reason why these stories resonate is because they have portions of that done well. And so even though they might be predictable, they carry that hero archetype story, and it's done well. Those are my three.
Fair enough. Yeah, some valid points there for sure. Like, I would say an argument could be made that Jeremy Renner is like not actually acting because he could possibly be mentally challenged, just like in the movie, and like no one would know anything. So he just blankly stares, grabs an arrows, and shoots. And I still have such a hard time reconciling, Thor's a god, Hulk is indestructible, Iron Man's just really smart and has a lot of tech, and then you have like two people that are almost completely useless. And
Playing devil's advocate here, Hawkeye is utterly useless. I think Bourne could kill Hawkeye. 1-on-1, I think Bourne would kill him.
Hawkeye was born for one movie.
Oh, true. I gave him a step down.
But he wasn't as good as Jason.
He wasn't. I'm not going to argue that. You got me there.
I think
That one's almost more of it's source material.
so. You don't feel there's any sort of like overload or overfeeding of all these Marvel movies?
I don't, because the way they set up the cinematic universe.
I think Black Panther proved that it is overloaded.
It took that long.
It's overloaded by at least one movie.
I disagree. I think that the way they connect all the movies, the way they've been building it up, and I'm not going to say anything except that I have seen Infinity War, and oh my goodness, the way everything comes together.
it's like, hey, we have
It is like
superheroes. Let's just put them in the same movie.
It's so much more than just putting people. I mean, most of the time you got one movie or you got like a trilogy. And just a little bit of carryover, but even among a trilogy, unless it's like something based on a book, you don't have much carryover story. It's like a new story with the same characters. This, you've got all these stories with characters, but there's so much that carries over. I mean, it's something that has never been done cinematically. The scale of the storytelling that expands across movies.
If it's nostalgic, I could see. I never thought about that aspect of it. I didn't read comic books when I grew up. I didn't care about them, so that's why I'm probably not into it. But if they did, they had like, gangster rap superheroes or something, I'd be all about it.
That's an idea.
Yeah.
Steve, are you going to see Infinity War, or are you just over it?
Yeah, probably not. Unless it comes on TV and I just happen to be watching it. Yeah.
It's a low bar. Gary, did you want to say something about Black Panther?
I didn't know what there was to like about it, quite frankly. To me, it was basically like, okay, let's get Tony Stark, stick him in Africa, or we'll make it ethnic and cultural. That's basically it. He's a normal guy. He's got a whole host of technology that he's going to use to fight crime. Yeah, he's got some magic mushroom that he eats at one point in the movie. He gets superpowers, but
Is that true?
yeah, but they skim over that. Like the one thing that made it different to the other movie, they totally skim over that. All right, forget the fact he's eating a magic mushroom. He's now this sort of super magic panther thing. I just thought, like, what's the point? It was Iron Man.
But didn't you also tell me Doctor Strange was Iron Man?
That was crap. I think Doctor Strange was just
I
crap.
think you don't like
goodness.
Benedict because he's associated with the BBC because of Sherlock, and I think you have a vendetta against him.
I didn't like Benedict Cumberbatch, no.
See? I knew it!
He's got a head like a hammerhead shark. I can't take him seriously in anything. He does. Every time he's on screen, you don't know if he's looking here, there, straight ahead. I just can't. He's standing there doing his magic Dragon Ball Z thing, and I'm wondering, how is he keeping his head up on his shoulders? How is he not tipping over? He's just weird looking. It's not even a case of being ugly, it's weird. It's weird.
But what about the actual movie and story?
So, are we recommending Doctor Strange or Black Panther?
Doctor Strange.
It's just ridiculous. He got this whole magical, like, Chinese, like, Never Land somewhere, where they're all learning magic powers, and they've been at it for, like, centuries, thousands of years probably.
Yeah.
No one's quite, like, got the ticket on how to become, like, this big sort of, like, black belt of,
try
like, magic. And then along comes Hammerhead Shark, and he's like, 5 minutes later, into a montage, he's mastered it. He's got it all.
Because he's got the hand skills.
What? Because he's a doctor? But that's why I don't like Black Panther for the same reason. He's got like unlimited technology. Like you wouldn't have any of these problems if you got some amazing technology. There's no reason why you should have a problem. You're getting chased by a Korean guy on a Suzuki. You got like all this alien technology at your disposal, and you're getting chased by a guy on a moped.
Manboys.
All right, what are 3 things that suck about France?
So I'm just saying, trying to turn over a new leaf, be less discriminating. So I'm not going to say France sucks, I'm just going to say 3 things that sucks about France. Everywhere's got things that suck about them, right? Yeah. So the first thing, and I'm going to single this out and I'm going to be more specific, 3 things that suck about Paris. First thing, place stinks.
Yes.
Right?
I was there in 6th grade.
Freaking
All
great.
summer.
But this is the thing that bothers me, right? You hear that, oh yeah, Paris stinks, right? But in your head you think, oh, it's going to stink like French things, right? It's going to smell like cheese and garlic. It's not.
100% BO.
It is.
Everywhere you go.
BO.
No one takes a shower ever.
Now,
All summer long.
I don't want to say that French people have poor hygiene. I'm not gonna speculate as to why everything stinks of BO over there, but it does.
Now, is it not like rotting trash or human BO?
BO.
It's just walks through the street. You're not even
Well,
around
to be
people.
fair, it's mainly, I felt mainly on the subway. You get on the train in the summer and geez, you got to hold your breath.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's pretty terrible.
The second thing is the food sucks. It bugs the crap out of me when people act like French cuisine is like, the greatest thing on earth. It's not.
Oh, and you have much to speak of in England.
We have the best food on earth. But this is the difference, right? We don't claim that English food is the best food on earth. We openly admit that we steal everyone else's and just do it better than anyone else. Whereas the French, the only good food I've ever had in Paris was Italian or like Malaysian. I've never had good French food in Paris. Third thing, it's the way they bloody speak. I can't deal with it. It sounds, even if you don't know what they're saying, you know whatever they're saying is taking a long time. Or the in between saying something. You can look it up in the French dictionary. There's no in the dictionary. That is just like, them going, They do it so freaking much. And there's like historical context there. It's like you think back to like when the Normans invaded and they're like to all the English peasants, right, you're going to pay us tax. Poor little English peasant. Oh, yeah, sorry, Mr. Francois, how much tax do we owe you? It's like, just get on with it. Can you imagine how annoying that would be, having to be like subservient to that? All these orders and restrictions and laws coming to you in the context of, you have to give me 10%. I just can't. It just bugs me. It bugs me. And when you're sitting on the train and you listen to two of them going at it, for want of a better expression, like that, it's like someone throwing up in your ear.
Now, off the record, what are the real 3 reasons you don't like?
French people.
Just making sure. Yeah.
Actually, that's why Paris stinks so much. Every time they get invaded, yeah.
That's a great French joke.
Man boy.
All right, to put a pin in this podcast, let's settle a long debated internet debate that we can settle right now for the whole world. And that is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Oh, no! Yes, it is, as a matter of fact. Because it takes place
I'm on
during
the
Christmas.
yes train.
It snows. It's got the key ingredients. It takes place during Christmas. It snows and it has a happy ending.
Tim Allen's not in it.
It's got the big Christmas tree. It's got the ho ho ho, and the whole Santa theme around the whole killing the guys.
It's not a Christmas movie. It's a movie that takes place at Christmas.
No.
Thank you.
It's
Aries
outrageous
is
movie.
logical and smart and right. I said earlier, 50 First Dates takes place in Hawaii, and there's oceans there. It's not a surf movie just because there's
surfing has
in the
nothing.
movie.
Each.
Yeah, it takes.
Point taken.
The Hobbit. It's the Hobbit a Christmas movie.
It's not even.
Why would it be?
Because it comes out, the movies came out at Christmas. So when I think of The Hobbit, when I see The Hobbit on TV, it reminds me of Christmas.
The movie at least features Christmas, right? You got the Christmas tree. It's obvious, like it's
Christmas time. It's Christmas time.
Well, Christmas is 1/12 of the year, so I mean, like, there's a 1 in 12 shot that any
It's
movie
like
is going to
this.
be set.
My favorite movie is Better Off Dead. Okay, there is a portion of the movie as you go through goes through Christmas time, and there's a gift involved, but I don't call it a Christmas movie.
Okay, well, there's a difference between a portion of a movie and the entire movie taking place on Christmas
But it's
Eve.
not about Christmas. It's about him killing dudes who are bad.
What about that movie that came out recently with James Franco and the guy from Breaking Bad? The one about where his daughter's marrying the internet.
Like Why Him or
Have
something?
you Why Him? Has anyone seen Why Him?
I haven't seen it.
No.
Okay, whole movie set at Christmas. No way is that a Christmas movie. Not even by any stretch of the imagination. Guess you could maybe.
I feel like a Christmas movie has to be literally about Christmas.
I agree.
Yeah, but in that case, you gotta be like, what's Christmas? I mean, is Christmas Santa and ho ho ho? Is
Yes.
Christmas Christ?
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
Both yes.
More Santa ho ho to be
yeah, but
honest.
there's a lot of ho ho
Christmas?
ho and then Die Hard.
But there's no Santa Claus.
No Santa. I mean, there's the Santa hat.
This is how you can tell if it's a Christmas movie. If you took Die Hard and you set it in July, would it still work?
Yeah.
It's not a Christmas movie. You could put it at any time of the year, exact same storyline, the movie still works. It's not a Christmas movie.
Instead of
You say
Santa hats, you
Santa
got
Claus the movie in July, no sense at all. Makes no sense. Elf in July makes no sense. It's not a Christmas movie.
Steve.
It's a good movie. It's not a Christmas movie.
What, you associate it because you watched it growing up around Christmas time?
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation?
No. Dude, did you just fall asleep? Did we just lose you?
Wait, no, Die Hard. I mean, the thing is, I haven't seen it in a long time, but I do consider Christmas movie again because it takes place at the crux of Christmas.
But it's not
I'll go a step further.
I will give you I'll give it to you that
it could take place in
the overall plot could take place elsewhere, but they weave in Christmas. They weave it into
Sure.
to it.
It has
But
Christmas
the
touches.
Christmas tree in the background isn't weaving in Christmas.
It's not just I mean, it's in the conversations. It's in all the props. I mean, it's all throughout the movie.
How about
I mean,
this, though?
they utilize that heavily. It's not just like there's a
But
Christmas
it's
tree.
not.
There's a
It's
Santa.
not.
It's
It's
not
not
getting
essential.
to
It's not essential to the storyline.
It's not getting to a Christmas.
I would agree. It's not
moment.
central, but it is. It's heavily.
They could do it at
all
Thanksgiving.
throughout the
They could
thing.
do it at July 4th. They could do
Halloween.
it at Easter, Halloween.
No.
Memorial
I'll give you
Day,
that point. I'll
Martin
give you
Luther
that
King
point.
Day.
But they heavily
Gay
use
Pride Day.
Here's the anomaly of all those movies. Trains, Planes, and Automobiles feels like a Christmas movie, but it actually John Candy comes home at Thanksgiving.
I think that's a Christmas movie.
I can't think it was a Christmas
I think it
movie.
is a
though.
Christmas
But it's
movie.
weird. It has nothing to do with
And
Christmas.
the funny
It's a
thing
month
was-
early.
I grew up watching that movie in the UK where we didn't know what Thanksgiving was. I always thought it was a Christmas movie.
Oh, really? Okay.
I always thought Thanksgiving was a stupid American word for Christmas. And I did wonder as a kid, where's the Christmas trees? But I thought, Americans, yeah, what are you
That's
going to
awesome.
do?
Okay, so personal greatest Christmas film of all time.
Elf. Easy, Elf.
Home Alone, Christmas Story.
Is that the one with the little fat ginger kid?
He's blonde.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's one. Yeah, okay, that's one.
Red Rider BB gun.
You'll
Red
shoot
Rider
your eye
BB
out.
I never watched it. I just know of it because of the creepy little kid.
Yeah,
It's
I'll
creepy.
probably have to go with.
You mean the bad guy? The
No, the little blonde kid's creepy. He looks like a little Chucky from Child's Play.
No, he doesn't. He has that red hair.
Well, that's why I thought it was ginger, but
The bully is Ginger.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
I have to say, for me, growing up, it was like the Santa Claus movies because I was a kid.
The Tim Allen ones.
Yeah,
They're amazing, yeah.
I'd have to say those. I mean, because I don't really have a huge investment in Christmas movies. I never was big on I never saw the Big Christmas Story. Growing up, I saw It's a Wonderful Life a couple years ago for the first time.
Oh, that's bloody
Still
awful.
not
That
seen
is not a Christmas movie.
Still haven't seen it.
Hang on.
Apparently, we need to all get together and watch
Oh,
Christmas
so-
Story.
Christmas Story isn't a Christmas movie. It's
That's
set in a freaking concentration camp.
What? You've never seen the movie. What are you talking about?
Wait, you're not talking about the same one as Bill was talking about.
What are you
I
talking
think that is A Wonderful Life. They always play it at Christmas, but it ain't a Christmas movie. It's set in a concentration camp.
It's a
I
Wonderful
think you're,
Life. That's not a
you're,
concentration
no,
camp.
you're thinking of It's a Beautiful.
It's a Beautiful Life.
Yeah.
Okay.
Different movie.
Alright, yeah.
So different.
But they do play it at Christmas.
Completely different.
This is
Completely
so
different.
Yeah, It's a Wonderful Life has Jimmy Stewart. It's black and white. It's super old.
But It's a Beautiful Life's pretty old as well.
Alright, we need to see apparently these movies so we can check some people out. So they...
I'm not watching It's a Beautiful Life. Is anything but
No,
beautiful.
not that one. We're talking about Christmas.
It's horrible.
Not Christmas movies.
But Life's always at
It's
Christmas.
a wonderful.
No! It's a wonderful.
I know, but It's a Beautiful Life has also played a lot of Christmas.
Well, okay, we're not going to watch that. Don't worry.
Alright, so
I'm watching a wonderful
It's
life.
a wonderful and a Christmas story.
Christmas story. Is it?
we could do a whole podcast on It's a Beautiful Life. Well, bloody hell,
No.
I have no idea I've never heard of that.
When we were little kids, my mother made us watch it. We're like 12, 10 years old. Oh, we'll put this film on It's a Beautiful Life. It'd be great. It's a Christmas. Ruined Christmas.
Ruined
That's
Christmas.
a rough movie. But we should watch Christmas Story. I think it's the best Christmas story. Home Alone is fantastic.
Wait, Christmas Story.
Elf is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's Wonderful Life is fantastic. And what was the other one you said?
Gremlins.
Tim Allen one.
Tim and Santa Claus.
Gremlins.
There's so many.
Gremlins. Is Gremlins a Christmas movie?
Yes.
I always thought of it more as a horror movie, but they did. I remember the advertising something. They tried to go for the Christmas theme.
Yeah.
It's that time frame. So nice. We should dissect that.
All right. Well, I hope this podcast hasn't made you dumber. If you've watched this whole thing, may God have mercy on your soul. And good night.
That's how we do it in the D. What up? Yeah, that's how we do it in the D. You know it. Say what? That's how we do it in the D. Check this out. Yeah, that's how we do it in the. That's how we do it in the.
Stand behind my.
You purposely buy shirts that are like 2 sizes too small to show off.
I got this when I was 19.
Oh, shit.